Everybody wants to see your big fat gut on display, and so especially, like I say, if you're in a city, you should walk around with your shirt off. I mean, you're in Thailand at the end of the day. Hey, what is up, guys? This is Brett here from brettdev.com, and welcome back to the channel. Today in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 ways that you can completely embarrass yourself when you come to Thailand. Now, I was going to name this video something else. I was going to call it 10 ways that you can make yourself look like a complete but I don't necessarily think that YouTube would like that so much. Now, before we get into it, if you are interested in coming to Thailand and maybe you want to stay here long term, in the background, behind the scenes, I've been working on some brand new guides, some guides to Thailand, and they're about 85–90% done. They're going to be brilliant. They're going to be really in-depth. They're going to show you how to budget for your trip. They're going to show you how you can make a plan and stick to it. They're going to show you how you can finance your lifestyle abroad. They're going to show you what to do with all of your stuff in your home country before you come here, the logistics of moving, all of that stuff. And like I said, they're nearly done. They're going to be out in about 2 weeks. So if you do want access to them, head on over to my website, go to brettdev.com/Thailand. From there, you can sign up and I'll send them to you for free as soon as they are ready. Now, if you're watching this video after the release date, then go to brettdev.com/Thailand and they'll probably already be there. They'll probably be right there already waiting for you, okay? So just a quick thing before we get started. Thailand's opened up, people are coming back, tourists are coming back, and like I said, in this video, I'm going to give you 10 ways that you can really embarrass yourself. These are the ways that I see foreigners embarrassing themselves in Thailand all the time. And if you want to be one of those people, then all you have to do is do all of these 10 things. We'll start with the first one, and with the most cringeworthy on the entire list. Make sure that when you're in Thailand that you speak Thai, that you speak it with full enthusiasm, and that you speak it wrong. Okay? There is nothing more entertaining than a foreigner in Thailand who walks around referring to himself as a woman or a man, the wrong gender, completely mispronounces everything, says it as if they know the full language, and smile with pride when they are describing themselves as a female when they are a male, and completely mixing the entire language up. So make sure, number one, that when you come to Thailand, you speak Thai with full enthusiasm and that you speak it wrong. Number two, this is one for all the guys out there that come to Thailand that want to maybe hook up with a lady. Make sure that when you date a woman that you give them nothing in return, okay? I mean, at the end of the day, you're coming over from a Western country where, you know, if you go on a date with a woman, you split the bills. Or if you live together, she pays half the rent. And if you get a divorce, she gets everything. Make sure that when you come to Thailand, if you date a woman and they ask you for anything, you know, if they should ask you for any money or anything like that, that you assume that they're scamming you and they're only out for your money. Okay, so this is very important. Date women, but don't expect to give them anything. Okay, be stingy as hell. You know, it's all about you. You're from the West. Everybody's equal. She's clearly out to fleece you for everything you're worth. Number three, assume that everybody's scamming you. You know, you don't live here. You don't know what things cost. You just got off the plane. So when you go to buy something, that could be anything. That could be, you know, you could go and buy a sandwich in a 7-Eleven. You could go and buy a t-shirt at a market, whatever it might be. The fact that you're not from here, the fact that you don't live here, the fact that you don't know the prices of anything, it's safe to assume that everybody is probably scamming you. So make sure that you give a hard time to every single person that you meet, and try never to pay the full price for anything. And if they ask you to pay the full price, or if they ask you to pay out the price on the tag, just kick off and blame them for scamming you, okay? Number four, make sure that when you speak English, you speak it really, really fast, and you speak it in your weird dialect, okay? I mean, at the end of the day, you've come over to Thailand from the other side of the world. This isn't their first language. It doesn't matter that it's not their first language. It doesn't matter if you're from Glasgow or if you're some hillbilly. English is English, and everybody should understand it. You should speak it as quickly as possible, and if somebody doesn't understand it, or if somebody doesn't understand your accent, then you should just sulk. You should probably just, you know, throw a fit, have a strop, get really annoyed, you know, get frustrated with the lack of communication, and maybe just speak it even faster in an even stronger, your dialect. Really enforce your dialect on the person that doesn't speak English very well, and maybe that way they will understand it. Number 5, visas. Everybody loves visas. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, but the way to handle it and the way to deal with your visas in Thailand is don't do any research. Okay, go down to immigration and just expect them to do it for you. You're from the West, you're from a foreign country, so by rights you shouldn't have to get a visa. You should be entitled to live wherever you want in the world for free, forever. And if you go down to immigration and the process is difficult, just freak out. Just get pissed off with the immigration officers, and if they're not smiling and they're not the most happiest people in the world because they have to deal with people like you every day, just complain. Just tell them you're going to leave, because at the end of the day, without you, the entire economy would collapse. It doesn't matter also that it's been documented 10,000 times online. It doesn't matter that there are about 50,000 blog posts about, step by step how to apply for every single visa that you would want. Don't bother. Don't look. It's not worth the time. You're much better off just going down there, expecting it all to be done for you, and like I say, just kick off when they don't do it for you. Number 6, this is one of my favourite ones. I encounter people like this all the time, and if you want to be a complete knob and really embarrass yourself, then do this. Number 6, make sure that you impose your geopolitical opinions and worldviews on absolutely everyone that you meet. Okay, you're out, like I said, you're in Thailand, you're on the other side of the world. What matters in other countries in the world is irrelevant. Nobody gives a shit. But what CNN says is very, very important. Okay, I'm sure you've probably got a very expensive cable news subscription in your Thai condo, so you can get fed your CNN every single day and get educated by the mainstream media. So whilst you're doing that, when you go out, it's best to there might be people that don't have that subscription, or from other countries like England or some country you've never heard of. So when you do meet those people, make sure to let them know yellow man's bad, we need masks forever, and tell them all about the history of Ukraine and Russia, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's important that you do this. It's important that you impose your geopolitical opinions on every single person that you meet. I mean, some might say you live in a bubble and the rest of the world doesn't give a shit. But I would beg to differ, okay? It's your duty. Number 7, if you really want to embarrass yourself, you're in Thailand. If you ask somebody to do something, if you hire somebody, if something doesn't go your way, just doesn't matter what it is. If something doesn't go your way, a really easy way to kind of understand why that's happening is just to assume everyone's stupid, You can blame the education system. You can just say that everybody's uneducated. You're more educated than everybody else. It must be the way the country's run. It must just be a complete lack of intellect. You're a genius. If something doesn't go your way, blaming the lack of education, just assuming everybody's stupid is a really, really good way to deal with it, okay? So that's number 7. If something doesn't go your way, assume that everybody is stupid. Okay, number 8, nearly at the end. This is one of my favorites, okay? When you go shopping for anything, and I mean anything at all, make sure that you barter. You have to barter with everyone over everything, right? It doesn't matter if the price is irrelevant, okay? If you can get a pair of jeans in your home country for $100 and you can come to Thailand and the guy wants to sell you a pair of jeans for $5, you should make him sell them to you for $4, right? I mean, it only makes sense. You're saving $95, but you should save another $1, because at the end of the day, that $1, that 30 baht, that is so much better off in your pocket than it is in the pocket of like a poor street vendor or a market seller just trying to get by, And, at the end of the day, if it doesn't come down with the price, you can just like assume he's ripping you off as well. We can go back to point, what was it? Point number 3, assume everybody's scamming you, okay? So, probably are, so make sure that you barter with everyone over everything. Number 9. Now, haven't seen this one for a while, but I'm sure I'm going to see people like this very soon. Now, no matter where you go in Thailand, whether you go up in the country, whether you go and stay in a mountain village or with a tribe, or whether you go to a restaurant in a city, make sure, number 9, that you impose your plant-based vegan food requirements every time you order some food, okay? I mean, Thailand have been cooking like the best food in the world for, you know, hundreds, probably thousands of years. It's world renowned, but that's not the point, you know? At the end of the day, you're plant-based, you're vegan, you don't like MSG, you don't like salt, you don't like halal, you want to know what fertilizer was put in the crops, you want to know what temperature your food's cooked to. So make sure that when you order food, even if it's from a little street vendor who's charging you 30 baht on the side of the road, make sure that you give her clear, detailed instructions about exactly how to cook your meal, okay? It might take you 20 or 30 minutes. She's probably not going to understand you. You can go back to that previous point where, you know, if they don't understand you, just speak faster, speak in a more stronger accent. Spend 20, 30 minutes, it's worth it, okay? It's worth it. Make sure there's no MSG, make sure it's plant-based, make sure it's vegan. At the end of the day, if she cooks you a meal and she accidentally puts like MSG in it or some salt in it and you ask for it without salt, you can just send it back. Just don't pay for it, you know? It's easy. This is the best way to order food in Thailand, you know? Don't dive in at the deep end, of course. Do it your way, okay? Impose your plant-based vegan food requirements on everything. Number 10, this is my favorite. When you're in Thailand, especially when you're in a city, especially in a place like Chiang Mai, Bangkok, make sure that you walk around with your shirt off. Make sure you bare as much skin as possible. In fact, you may as well just wear a pair of hot pants, especially if you're old, especially if you're fat, okay? Thais just love it, you know? Everybody wants to see your big fat gut on display. And so, especially, like I say, if you're in a city, you should walk around with your shirt off. I mean, you're in Thailand at the end of the day, okay? You're on holiday. Who gives a shit, right? It doesn't matter that you wouldn't walk around with your shirt off in London or in New York or in any other city in the world. Thailand's Thailand. Live and let live. You're on holiday. Strip off. Just walk right down the street with your shirt off, chest held high, head up. And again, it doesn't matter that the Thais, that's very offensive in Thailand either, you know, to bare skin. You know, the Thais always want to wear trousers when they go into the temple. You know, there's a reason for this. The Thais rarely take their tops off even when they're swimming in the pool or in the sea. You know, you might notice that. Fucking don't worry about the reason for it. Just strip off, mate. Just wherever you go, shirt off, especially in the city, head held high. And yeah, that's a really, really good way to look like a total prick. That's it. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Those are 10 ways to embarrass yourself and look like an arsehole when you come to Thailand. Of course, I'm joking. This is a satire video, but I do hope you enjoyed it. I thought it'd be funny to do like a little bit more of a uplifting video, but this is no joke. These points, right? I sat down and brainstormed this today. This is super common. This is what people do, right? It's very frustrating. I'm sure there's lots I've missed as well. You know, if you live in Thailand, if you've lived here for any length of time, you're going to be thinking, oh, I know about all this. And then you're also going to be saying, Brett, you never mentioned this one, you never mentioned that one. Well, go down, leave a comment, let me know other ways that foreigners come here and embarrass themselves, because I'd be really interested to see what I missed off, because I'm sure you're going to leave a comment and I'm going to go, yes, you know. But these are the top 10 that I could think of at this moment in time. Now, if you like this video, guys, you're probably going to really like this one. And if you do want to come to Thailand, and if you don't want to be one of these people, if you want the inside information, if you want to know how to not embarrass yourself rather than embarrass yourself, then make sure you check out the link that I mentioned at the beginning of the video right here. It's coming soon, and this is going to be very, very helpful for you. That's all for today, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.